Trump's attempts to seize control of federal funds. A constitutional crisis in the making. The power of the purse. Congressional authority over federal funds. The U.S. Constitution is clear. Congress controls federal spending, not the president. Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7 explicitly states, "No money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law." This clause, often called the power of the purse, grants Congress, not the White House, the exclusive authority to allocate and disburse federal funds. Despite this, during his presidency, Donald Trump repeatedly attempted to override Congress and manipulate the federal budget for political gain. His actions raised constitutional concerns and threatened the stability of essential government programs, including 1. Medicaid, health care for low-income Americans. 2. SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food aid for vulnerable families. 3. Federal grants, funding for education, disaster relief, and local projects. 4. Federal loans, financial aid for small businesses, students, and homeowners. By attempting to divert funds for political or personal motives, Trump challenged the legal framework that ensures government programs remain nonpartisan and focused on serving the public. Trump's past attempts to seize control of federal funds. Trump's history of attempting to bypass Congress in financial matters is well documented. His most notorious efforts include 1. The border wall and the emergency declaration in 2019. After Congress explicitly denied Trump the funds he requested for a border wall, he declared a national emergency to reallocate $3.6 billion from the military budget. The move was widely criticized as unconstitutional, with bipartisan opposition in Congress. Lawsuits challenged this redirection of funds, and courts ruled against Trump's unilateral action. The message was clear. A president does not have the legal authority to unilaterally seize Congress-approved funds for projects that Congress rejected. 2. Blocking federal aid to blue states during the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump threatened to withhold federal relief funds from Democratic-led states unless their governors complied with his administration's policies. He repeatedly suggested that states like California and New York should not receive emergency funding unless they adopted policies more aligned with his views. This violated the constitutional principle that federal funds, once appropriated by Congress, must be distributed fairly and without partisan interference. Federal aid should not be used as a weapon to punish political opponents. 3. The attempt to cut Medicaid and SNAP through executive orders. Trump's administration aggressively sought to limit access to Medicaid and SNAP by imposing restrictive work requirements and budget cuts that Congress never approved. His administration also pushed to block grant Medicaid, effectively giving states a lump sum rather than the traditional open-ended federal funding. This would have allowed states to cut Medicaid services, disproportionately harming low-income and disabled Americans. Courts repeatedly ruled against these efforts, stating that a president cannot unilaterally rewrite the law to impose new eligibility rules or funding restrictions. 4. Freezing federal grants for political leverage. Trump attempted to freeze federal grants for Democratic-led cities, branding them as anarchist jurisdictions. This included blocking funds for public safety, education, and healthcare in cities like New York, Seattle, and Portland. The courts ruled against Trump, affirming that federal grants must be distributed as allocated by Congress, not at the president's discretion. 5. The Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, and favoritism. During the COVID-19 economic crisis, Trump's administration directed PPP loans to politically connected businesses and donors while leaving small minority-owned businesses struggling to access funds. Government watchdogs later revealed massive corruption and mismanagement in the program, illustrating how Trump's financial influence extended into emergency relief. Why seizing federal funds is illegal and criminal. A president who redirects or withholds federal funds without congressional approval violates the Impoundment Control Act of 1974 and the U.S. Constitution. The Impoundment Control Act was created to prevent presidents from unilaterally withholding funds that Congress has already approved. Trump's actions constituted abuse of power and potentially criminal misconduct for the following reasons. 1. Bypassing Congress. Trump repeatedly ignored Congress's decisions on how federal funds should be spent. 2. Weaponizing federal aid. He used financial resources to punish democratic states and cities while rewarding political allies. 3. Breaking federal law. The Impoundment Control Act prohibits a president from freezing or diverting funds without congressional approval. 4. Engaging in political extortion, threatening to withhold federal funds unless states complied with his demands amounted to financial coercion, a potential abuse of office. While legal challenges and congressional oversight limited some of these actions, Trump's disregard for the law suggests that a second Trump presidency could be even more dangerous. He has openly stated that he plans to take more control over the federal government, which could mean further attempts to seize control over federal funds. How Americans Should Prepare for the Chaos of Another Trump Presidency. Your book, Rising Above: How to Thrive in the Face of Chaos and Uncertainty, emphasizes the importance of resilience in times of crisis. A potential second Trump presidency will likely bring more economic instability, legal battles over federal funds, and political turmoil. Here's how Americans can prepare. 1. Financial preparation. Expect economic disruptions. 1. Stockpile emergency savings. If Trump attempts to cut Medicaid, SNAP, or unemployment benefits, millions could suffer overnight. 2. Diversify income sources. Job instability may rise if Trump's trade policies or budget cuts hurt businesses. 3. Secure your health coverage. Trump has historically targeted Affordable Care Act, ACA, subsidies, meaning healthcare disruptions are possible. 2. Political awareness. Understand your rights. 1. Know your benefits. If Trump tries to cut Medicaid, SNAP, or Social Security, people must be aware of legal protections and advocacy groups that can help fight back. 2. Support independent oversight. Watchdog groups like the Government Accountability Office, GAO, help prevent presidential overreach. 3. Community preparedness. Build local support systems. 1. Strengthen local food banks. If federal food assistance is slashed, community-run food programs will be crucial. 2. Invest in local healthcare initiatives. If Medicaid is undermined, people will need alternative access to clinics and aid. 4. Legal and civic action. Hold leaders accountable. 1. Contact Congress. Demand that lawmakers reinforce the Impoundment Control Act to prevent another president from illegally withholding funds. 2. Support investigative journalism. Media outlets must continue exposing corruption in federal funding. 5. Emotional resilience. Mentally prepare for political chaos. Your book discusses navigating uncertainty with confidence. This will be crucial in a chaotic political climate. Americans should expect disinformation, government instability, and policy battles. Staying informed and emotionally resilient will be key. Final thoughts. Learning from the past to protect the future. Trump's past actions show a dangerous pattern of trying to seize financial control that does not legally belong to the presidency. A future Trump presidency could bring greater economic instability, threats to social programs, and legal battles over federal funds. Your book, Rising Above, provides the resilience strategies Americans need to prepare for the challenges ahead. By financially securing themselves, staying politically informed, and building local support systems, individuals can thrive in the face of political and economic turmoil. The key lesson? Chaos is inevitable, but preparation and resilience can help us rise above it.